Hey! Thanks for tuning in to another Tying Tuesday with AvidMax. My name is Travis Hanson, the owner of Chasing Tail Jigs. Today I have for you another killer chironomid pattern for you guys. You know chironomids are my favorite, and we're here to tie another one. In the vise, I have what I like to call the miracle cone. It's going to be a cross on the Titan tube and the basic snow cone chironomid, kind of both put into one, without needing to use without needing to stick a wire up a tube, which is a pain in the butt. So this is what we're gonna do. In the vise, I got one of Umpqua's new hooks, size 14, TMC 201. Gonna start off with my red thread. I don't know if you guys caught it there in that preview, but it's got a red butt to it, so that's what we're gonna use first. Starting off with Semperfli classic waxed A-dot in red. Go down not that far, just a couple turns. And it's also got two ribs to it. So first, we're gonna go in with this iridescent thread from Semperfli, size 3/0. Color is pearl. This rib, I know I usually tie my ribs in on the side of the hook facing me, but this one, I'm gonna start up top, and I wanna maintain that on the top of the hook shank on the way down. Now we're gonna be coming back over this a couple times, so slightly open wraps are okay to help us maintain a slim body. Go quite a bit down the bend. Really been liking this new hook from Umpqua for chironomids. And go about halfway down the bend, leaving enough room for you to be able to pull that out of their mouth with forceps when needed. The bead I have on here today is going to be a 2.4 millimeter tungsten bead from Umpqua in the nickel color, I believe. Once we get back up to the bead, we're going to go ahead and add our secondary rib, which is going to be small ultra wire in red. This rib, I'm going to go ahead and keep on the side of the hook near me like I usually do. I'm going to go ahead and wrap back down the hook shank to where we stopped with that first rib. And then we go ahead and start making our way back up with touching wraps. Stop, go ahead and flatten that thread. Twist it counterclockwise if you're a right hand tire like me. And we do have a total of 3 threads going on this pattern. So, no need for additional wraps. We're just going to go ahead and finish that right here. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cut that off. Then we're going to start with our classic waxed A-dot in black from Semperfli. I'm going to start about a bead's length away, because now we want to start giving ourselves room for the collar we're going to add, which is going to be the gills for this pattern. this is two-tone, so we're not taking this all the way down. And take it down to about the point of the hook. I'm actually going to cord my thread up just a little bit for this part to make my thread thinner for the blending process. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 open wraps, and you want to crisscross over the top of those to help that blend out once we put in our UV resin. Go ahead and flatten your thread back out, and we can take this back up towards the bead with touching wraps. Go ahead and whip finish this. Trim off your excess. Then we're going to go in with 14-aught Veevus in white, and this is just going to be to help us match the color of the ostrich turtle that we're going to be tying on for the gills. We want to go down about the width of the bead. Go ahead, cut that off. Go ahead and give yourself a couple half hitches so that way we can get these ribs in place. We're going to start with our wire because what gets tied on first gets wrapped last. Our 2 touching wraps. Now we can go ahead and start with our spaced out wraps. I like to hit about 4 turns right once I get towards the hook point, and that lets me know I'm about on track to keeping my distance where I like it. 5. Total of 8 turns, usually about where I like it. We can go ahead and secure this wire. Now go ahead, do another couple half hitches so we can get our second rib in. When you take this pattern out into the sun, this iridescent thread really throws off a lot of different colors. And it looks really cool. This pattern, I've been testing it over the last couple weeks, and it's been getting a lot of good feedback from our trout friends. Okay, now that we're at this point is when we're going to add our UV resin before we put our ostrich turtle on, just to make sure that we're not gumming up our ostrich turtle. So I'm going to take my favorite UV resin, which is going to be the Solarez Bone Dry. We're going to go ahead and coat the whole body. And take your light, cure that. Then we're going to go in with our ostrich plumes. Guess this one is going to be easier to see that. Go Go ahead and pull a singular plume from there, or hurl. And I'm just going to, let's see here, what is that? I'm just going to trim the very tip of this, like right here. And that's where I'm going to tie it in from. Now, with Ostrich hurl, it can be a little bit difficult to work with if you've never worked with it before. It has this stem protruding off on one side of it, and I like to tie that in with the stem facing up. And the key to this is making sure that it wraps with the stem facing the bead, or to the, yeah, whatever side your bead is on, whatever side you tie. Because once we start wrapping this, if the stem is on the side of the hook bend, the stem is going to trap down and mat all the materials down as you wrap it forward. And I find that I like about 4 to 5 turns for this part of the process. We can go ahead and secure that off. So you can see there, I tied the stem on facing the eye of the hook or the bead, and it leaves you a nice fluffy collar there. We're going to go ahead and grab our whip finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and do that one more time to make sure this is nice and secure. And go ahead and cut this off. Usually like to fish this mid-column or about a foot off the bottom, just kind of depends on where the fish are at for the day. This has been a solid pattern for me so far this year, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here at AvidMax.